Hey everybody, Chris here, Dogecoin Recovering. Today we're going to show that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit that little notification bell. You can be notified when the videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. And during live streams, we do hear a lot of negativity. There are some bears still around. I think Dogecoin is dropping a lot further. A little bit of fear in the markets as well. And I'm going to show you Dogecoin actually is faring fairly well. Of course, Bitcoin did not drop as much as almost every other crypto. And why did all of this go down? What is this big leverage, flush, liquidation thing? Let's get into it. Let me show you the charts in the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. We start here with the current Dogecoin chart, which is about back to 24 cents. That's right, that's this orange line here, 24 cents. During our live stream that we had on Wednesday, we just about hit 23 on the dip. Dogecoin was recovering last night and was looking good up to 24.5 cents. But overnight, there was a following dip, came down more. Just about 22.2 is now the low on this pullback. Flushed out, more leverage trading here. And now Dogecoin recovering this morning, moving back up. What did Bitcoin do? Well, Bitcoin is just kind of going sideways. It's just kind of going sideways. There's the Bitcoin chart here, looking back all the way to, let's see, this is from the 10th of July. So 2 weeks. Bitcoin has, it's the same price it was 2 weeks ago, $118,000. Yes, we had to run up to 123, dip back down to 116, and it has just been chopping. You look at this chart and you're like, where's the fear in the market? With Bitcoin, there's no fear. There's no fear. Bitcoin is not dropping. And what it would take for this like end of the bull cycle, like it's all over, would be Bitcoin dropping back down. And it's not. So yes, Dogecoin trades more volatile, right? More green on the upside, more red on the downside, much more volatile than Bitcoin, as is typical for a meme coin, which Doge still is. So we have that, and that's where we start. Overall, look, we've got this, the cryptocurrency market facing a major correction, and that's just what we went through. But it was not, again, the entire market. It was the alts. It was the alts. So why is the market down, and what's going on with the prices? Dogecoin, Cardano, and many other cryptocurrencies are down because we just had one of the most significant rallies in recent times earlier this month. It wasn't really Bitcoin, though. It was BNB. It was XRP, even though Bitcoin did hit a new all-time high in the past 2 weeks. But BNB and Ripple hitting new all-time highs, as well as major runs in alts, was all very exciting, but this is the backside of that, right? So looking at price dips, many altcoins have registered big price corrections. Bitcoin down less than 1%. Less than 1%. So are investors reallocating their capital, pivoting away from altcoins and meme coins and back into Bitcoin? Not necessarily. I think that there is some fear, though, when the price goes down. There is some of that. But this was mostly the market makers that was going on, is what this was. This is others. Others, ouch. That's a big reversal for alts. Bitcoin dominance tells half the story, right? Bitcoin dominance coming back up a bit. Others, down. This is the others dominance. It's given up all the gains from last week in 2 days. So all the way back to the 15th now, where actually when you look at Dogecoin and the 15th, and where Dogecoin was on the 15th, way down here at like 19 cents. So Dogecoin has actually fared better than most other alts because Dogecoin is still up. Well, we can look at that, right? We can look. Dogecoin is up 25% from the 15th of July here, where others is exactly where it was. So Dogecoin outperforming most of the altcoin market here during that time frame. Now I know I'm just picking dates, but that is I mean, that's what Nick is saying here. It's given up all the gains from the past week, but Dogecoin hasn't. Dogecoin is actually up 25% from that point. Just wanted to point that out. Now, we had liquidations, right? In 24 hours, almost $1 billion, 800 million on the long, 144 million on the short. And those are those liquidations. We look at the heat maps. We look at the live liquidations during our live streams. Make sure that you're subscribed. You got your notifications on, so you can join in on the live streams. You can understand what all this is about, because this is important. This is what moves the markets, I think, more than anything else. Yeah, the news will, there'll be reactions to news, and individual cryptos will have their individual news that will spark, them to go up or down. But overall, the markets are moving mostly because of this. And so we cover that a lot on the live streams. So stay tuned for that. But look, the smart traders and investors are buying your fear and panic. That's how fortunes are made. Smarten up, less selling, and more buying dips, Satoshi Flipper says. It's just like, if you're fearful by that pullback, right, maybe you shouldn't be trading crypto. Maybe you shouldn't. Or this is your first time, right? And you're learning. And so you learn. Like, you don't sell in the big red candles. Not financial advice, but I'm just saying. Altcoin Sherpa says, it wouldn't surprise me at all to see Bitcoin go into chop city mode. To be honest, not a huge fan of this price action given how close it is to the last range high. Would rather see more of a move. Going to take it day by day. And that's what I do too. And this is what I've been saying as well. People are asking me, hey, Chris, even on the live stream yesterday, it was like, where do we go from here? And I said, it looks like we're just going to begin or resume the summer chop just at a higher level than we were 2 weeks ago. Should do it this way. At a higher level than we were 2 weeks ago. That's where we are now, and we are going to chop. That's what I think is going to happen. Where this is just a continuation of the chop that's already been happening for 2 weeks on Bitcoin. He thinks alts go down another 10 to 30%. And I'm like, well, if there's another pullback that happens, which I think is going to be more toward the first week of August, be ready. And it's just buy more dips then. Looking back on the whole 4-year cycle, it's a big head and shoulders for Bitcoin. The left shoulder was the immediate dip that we had in the summer of 2021 between its two all-time highs. We had the huge pullback into 2022. The FTX bankruptcy was the bottom. $15,600 Bitcoin you could have bought right there. Of course, this is where I was doing most of my buying, was down here. That's why we follow the 4-year cycles, and we're going to see whether 2026 ends up being a bear market. So I'll still be here. We'll still be broadcasting. We'll still be talking about Doge and the crypto market, because there's money to be made. You just don't want to lose money, right? You don't want to lose money when we go through the bear market. That's what we're going to be trying to avoid. But in this reverse head and shoulders pattern, right, that is the head. And then we had the big run for Bitcoin, 2023 into 2024. Then we had that pullback last summer. That was the right shoulder. And then we moved up above the shoulder line. We moved back above it, or the neckline, they call it. And then we've retested it and are now moving higher for Bitcoin. Is there going to be a rocket ship going up? We'll watch that. But right now, there's fear in the market still. Everybody's down on Doge, and I'm like, look, Doge is up 44% in the month of July. And people are complaining. Yes, I know. We went down 38 in February, went down 17 in March, up in April, up in May, back down in June, but up big in July. This is the most that Dogecoin has ever gone up in the month of July, 44%. 2020, we had a 39% gain. 2018, 21%. This is the most we've ever gone up in the month of July. So we should be celebrating this instead. Everybody's, oh, Doge is down. And I'm just like, eh. And then we look at we look at the top 100 and we see, like, what coins are actually doing well. And outside of this new meme core and the story thing, which is pretty wild. I mean, here's Bonk, right? Bonk's doing well. Bonk actually didn't drop as much and has shown better recovery more recent. But we look at what's gone down the most over the past 24 hours. Yeah, it's a pump token. We know that. Altcoin. I mean, here's Jasmine. Here's Whiff. There's Floki. Immutable X. And here's XRP, right? XRP not performing as well as Dogecoin. Here's Pepe, right? There's the Trump token, Render. Where's Doge? There's Sheeb, down more than Doge, right? And there's Doge, right? So, and Doge is still up 10% on the week, which is outperforming all of these cryptos. So, I still don't know why all the negativity of Doge. I mean, yes, we did go up higher and we were enjoying that euphoria, that short-term euphoria. But we just have to temper ourselves, right? A little bit of temper ourselves. So is Dogecoin ready to rally after a 10% drop? It's just a 10% drop. In crypto trading, that's nothing. So short-term, we learn. Long-term, that's what we're looking forward to. We can talk about the whales. Ali always does these whale things. And like I said yesterday, it's like those are usually like just exchange transfers. We don't talk about that. The RSI, however, yes. Dogecoin was up at 28 cents. The RSI was up over 70. Now the RSI is trending down in the 30s again. So such a ratio typically indicates the asset may be oversold and is due for a trend reversal. So that's how the relative strength index works. And many Doge proponents remain optimistic. Price is poised to reach fresh peaks soon. So the pullback has acted as a retest of the recent breakout, envisioning a new uptrend. So that is what we are looking at. Of course, Trader Allen is much more optimistic. He's looking at this price momentum oscillator. Again, looking back on the 4-year cycles, 2016 into 2017, we had these four, and I'll have to so you can see this behind me. I'll close that and you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4 crossovers, and then the big rip. And then 2020, 2021, we had 4 crossovers and the big rip. So what have we had since 2022? We've had 3 crossovers. The 4th is happening right now. This is the 4th crossover. Are we ready to go on a big run? That is what we're watching for. Meanwhile, for Dogecoin, yes, we had another dip. Are you taking advantage of the dip? Are you buying on the dips? Is this the recovery now to start back up? Bullish optimism coming back? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Give the video a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.